Why am I so hopeful? Some of you may be asking. Well, a part of it is my eschatology. I won't even define that for you, but I have a particular view on the future, and I just see good things ahead. Maybe that colors my perspective on world events. But as I pay attention, I put everything into a framework of my own worldview, and I think good things are ahead, even though this particular clip may not portend or may not line up with that. This clip is about, maybe there's some bad stuff actually going on. So without further ado, Sovereign Artsakh, let me just read this first headline. Russian foreign minister announces about attempts to thwart declaration on Nagorno-Karabakh. This is Sergei Lavrov, the Russian foreign minister. I'm just going to read one paragraph, the only pertinent paragraph in this article. Unfortunately, there is such a tendency, we feel, that there are attempts to stop the implementation of the declaration signed by the Russian president, prime minister of Armenia, and president of Azerbaijan on November 9th. There are attempts to impede the full implementation of that agreement, though everyone has to admit that it is being successfully implemented. We also see attempts to change the nature of the peacekeeping mission. Those attempts are still hidden, but they take place, Lavrov said. Okay, so this is very interesting. There's something going on behind the scenes, which obviously we don't see, but they do. And even they only see in part, they see one side. And this is the Russian guy who's, I guess, tasked with the day in and day out observation and any official duties or tasks. He's in charge of communicating, essentially. It's his job. And he's saying people are trying to undermine this agreement that was signed on November 9th. So what does that mean? What can we imply from that? Who's trying to undermine it? Now, I have this in the comment section, a bunch of the Turks and Azerbaijanis who are sent to my channel. There's some bots and there's some trolls. And on my most popular videos, there's a whole bunch of them with a bunch of thumbs down and a bunch of comments. And one of the refrains is, shouldn't you be happy? It's over. The fighting has stopped. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm happy that the fighting has stopped. But I don't begin to pretend to believe that Azerbaijan is happy that the fighting has stopped. The whole point is their argument is this is stolen land. It's the Armenians are on our land. And there are still, according to them, Armenians on their land. So my first instinct was, behind the scenes, Azerbaijanis are trying to thwart this agreement. And that may be the case. But before I continue, it's commercial time. I've got a little commercial I'm going to do here. Don't click away. You're not going to want to miss this. It's just about my other channel. All right. So many of you, because this channel, Sovereign Artsakh, the views are going up. The subscribership is going up. And some of you may not know I have another channel. On this channel, I'm just talking about the news, what's going on in Armenia, in Artsakh, and Azerbaijan today, currently. But I have another channel. It's called Tales of Truth. Here, you need to go and subscribe to it. And it's got a few more subscribers than I have here, but I feel like that's going to turn around. Unless you haven't subscribed over there, go and subscribe. This is history. I'm talking about what's happened in the last couple centuries, but in particular the last 100 years. A lot about Sogomon Talerian and the Armenian genocide, but I have historians. You know, the most recent was Marian Mesrobian McCurdy, the granddaughter of one of the Operation Nemesis masterminds. All right, enough of that, but subscribe to this channel. But subscribe to this channel as well. Subscribe to Tales of Truth, but subscribe here if you haven't. But more importantly than any of that, a lot of you are already subscribers. Share these videos. All right, back to, this is the next concerning portion of this is, so the Russian foreign minister said people are trying to undermine this agreement, this ceasefire. I'm suspecting, or at least when I read that, I was suspecting that Azerbaijan is doing something behind the scenes. And to further bolster that suspicion, Russia to deploy additional reserve of border guards on Armenia-Azerbaijani border. Now, the Azerbaijanis, by all accounts, have been the aggressors here, and so Russia is sending additionally, the initial peacekeepers, according to the agreement, was just under 1,000 Russians. Now they're sending more. Russia will let's just read this. In line with the adopted decision within the framework of ensuring the border security of the Republic of Armenia in the sidelines of the measures aimed at ensuring peace in Nagorno-Karabakh, and at the request of the Armenian side, the Border Service of the Federal Security Service in the Republic of Armenia provided additional 188 servicemen with the necessary equipment. The border guards will be additionally deployed on the border of Armenia and Azerbaijan. The Azerbaijani side has been informed of this. The necessary operation with partners is organized. Bortnikov said, whoever that is, Federal Security of Russian Federation, Alexander Bortnikov. All right, so there's more. There's a couple hundred more going, and at the request of Armenia. Okay, so if Armenia is requesting security, who are they requesting security from? The aggressors. But this article came out today or yesterday, and this kind of counters. I don't know if this is a counter or if this is something, a separate thing going on. Attempts to question trilateral statements are unacceptable, says Russia's Lavrov. So I was suspecting there were combatants that were threatening to undermine this agreement that's went into effect on November 9th. However, this article I don't know if this is a separate issue than the one that I read earlier, because this is the same guy. This is Lavrov. Let me just read the headline. Attempts to question trilateral statement are unacceptable, says Russia's Lavrov. So is this the undermining he's referring to? People questioning, maybe, is it not Azerbaijan being aggressive and attacking and threatening, looking like they're going to threaten this agreement and start violence again, which is what I was suspecting? Or is he referring to this? People speaking disparagingly of, he's talking about me and people like me who are speaking disparagingly of the agreement, saying it's a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. It's not the final resolution. Their final lasting peace cannot result from this. It's just not designed for it. It's just a temporary measure. Well, he says the Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, considers unacceptable the attempts both in Armenia and abroad, that's me, on questioning the trilateral statement signed over the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, adding that this has been stated also during the meetings held in Armenia today. Lavrov briefed the reporters on the Russian delegation's visit to Yerevan, the meeting with Armenia's leadership, stating that the comprehensive discussions were held. They in particular talked about the issues relating to completely implementing the statement signed by the leaders of Armenia, Russia, and Azerbaijan, ensuring the operation of the Russian peacekeeping mission, and conducting humanitarian actions for assisting civil. So there's this entire agreement that is going to be implemented over the next, it's like 10 years. There's 5 years of Russian peacekeepers, et cetera, and then another 5 years. And I again, don't think that that's realistic. And because the world is actually paying attention now, more so, I mean, a war started. It was about a 6-week war, and this is either the end to the conflict or the beginning of the end to the conflict, or it's only the beginning of the conflict. Let me just finish this video with this. Baku's statements reaffirm the need for international recognition of Artsakh, the foreign minister says. And I think this is the foreign minister of Artsakh itself. Let me read. The recent public discussion on the status of Artsakh, as well as the provocative announcements of Azerbaijani leadership, reaffirm the need for the international recognition of Artsakh as the most effective way to overcome the situation resulted by their aggression by Azerbaijan against our country, sponsored by Turkey and the international terrorist. Foreign Minister of Artsakh, Masis Mayilyan, announced. All right, so the Russians are fiddling and saying, let's just go through with this. We know that that's it very well could be stall tactics for Turkey to reinforce. As Armin Press was informed from the press service of the FMA, Artsakh, the foreign minister of Artsakh, also emphasized that the categorical refusal of Azerbaijani top leadership to hold discussions on the status of Artsakh eliminate all kinds of obstacles for other countries to recognize the independence of the Republic of Artsakh. All right, this next paragraph, and you could go ahead and read it, but he's just reiterating, or this is the statement this paragraph summarizes, basically saying everybody who's held off on recognition of Artsakh through the years, the decades, every excuse they've had has now been removed because of the aggression. The aggressors are Azerbaijan and Turkey, and they want this territory, and they won't stop there. And so we have no excuse not to recognize Artsakh. Will there be more bloodshed? It depends on whether the United States gets involved and recognizes statehood for Artsakh. Share this video, subscribe, but share. Comment, like, but share this video.